Long ago there was a man who carried water every day. This water bearer, it was his job to pick up 2 heavy jars and put them on a pole across his shoulders and walk down a long, winding, dusty path from the house at the top of the hill to the river at the bottom. And when he got there, he would sit for a moment and enjoy the cool and the shade and the noise of the water passing. He would take the jars off his shoulders and fill them up with water, and they were heavy now. And he would hoist them up onto his shoulders, onto that pole, and he would carry them back up that long, winding, dusty path to the house on the top of the hill. It was a hot country, and he had to make several trips a day. And one day, after many years, he noticed that one of those jars had developed a crack. And the water would drip, drip, drip as he walked back up from the river to the house. It didn't bother the man, not one bit, but it did bother the perfect pot, the one with no cracks in it, and it began to mutter and whine into the man's ear. "What are you doing with that pot?" said the perfect pot. "Why can't you get rid of it? It's got a crack in it. Can you not see we're losing all the water as we're walking back up the hill? It's making your life much harder." Well, the man said nothing. It didn't bother him at all. He didn't listen to the perfect pot. He just carried on walking up that hill as the water dripped, dripped, dripped. But you know what? It really did bother the pot that had a crack in it. And it began to realise that no, it wasn't perfect. And in fact, it wasn't even very good at doing its job anymore. It couldn't manage to hold the water all the way up the hill. And the pot with the crack began to get sad. But no matter how hard it tried, it couldn't bring that crack back together. It couldn't pull itself together at all. And the more the perfect pot muttered and whined, the sadder the cracked pot became. And one day, it couldn't stand it any longer. And while they were by the river, the cracked pot whispered very quietly into the man's ear and said, "I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. I'm really sorry. I know I'm not good enough. And maybe it's time you did get rid of me and got a new pot without any cracks or any flaws in it. I'm sorry." Well, the man said nothing. He just listened quietly as the cracked pot cried. And then he filled it up with water by the river, and he put it back onto the pole and carried it up the hill. And as they travelled together along that long, winding, dusty path, the man said to the perfect pot, "Look down and tell me what you see." And the perfect pot looked. "Nothing," said the perfect pot. "There's nothing. Just dry, dusty earth and a few stones. Why? Why are you asking?" And the man said to the cracked pot, "Look down and tell me what you see." And the cracked pot looked down. And all along his side of the path, there were wildflowers growing, with butterflies and bees and birds and animals dancing in the wildflowers. And that is the story of the cracked pot.